Welcome to the Dr. Chris Griffin Show, your resource for leveraging systems and technology to ease your workload, increase productivity, and provide you with the time off you deserve to live the life of your dreams. It's time to practice productivity and the passionate pursuit of a better life with your host, Dr. Chris Griffin. The doctor is in.
Hey everybody, this is Dr. Chris Griffin and welcome to the inaugural video podcast for the Dr. Chris Griffin Show. And today with me, we got a really special guest. And not only is he a great guest for this first ever video podcast, he's also the executive producer because he is teaching me how to do it as we do it in this episode. So today we got with us Dr. Nathan Ho. Nathan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast.
Okay, so Nathan, I'm going to give you a really good introduction here. Although you gave me a better introduction when I was on your show, but Nathan graduated from Baylor, 2009, and he currently has, is it 2 dental practices? Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
Two dental practices with a partner. He's also the co-founder of envisionstars.com, which I am super excited to learn more about because it's something that I would love to learn more about and get into personally. It's an authentic online review platform. Okay. He's also the founder of my personal favorite dental group on Facebook, the Dental Win-Win, right? Is that Dental Win-Win?
Yeah.
So I post there a lot, right? I mean, maybe not your top poster, but I'm telling you, if you saw, I post in your group more than anybody else's, I will promise you. And also, by the way, he's the host of the Coffee Break interview video podcast. Coffee Break, who would have thought? Have you got your coffee?
I got my coffee right here.
Okay. All right. So let's get that straight because it wouldn't be you without the coffee. So,
that's right.
Yeah, man. So I tell you, this show, we just get, when we have people on, it's not all the time. And we have these people that are really special for dentistry. So you are one of them, man. This is season 2. We're closing down season 2. So you are one of the big stars of this season. So we appreciate you coming on. I know you told me that you got like a 10-op dental practice, and I know that a 10-op dental practice, because I've had one for a long time, you gotta have a lot of new patients to feed that thing. And I know that your specialty is the internal referrals, especially the Google stuff. So, yeah, man, I'm just going to start out. So the first question I got for you, what are some of the ways to acquire more new patients without having to spend a lot of money? Because a lot of us don't like to spend a lot of money on marketing. And this is your specialty, so I want to see you hit this out of the park.
All right. So I've been in dentistry for the last 10 years, right? And so I started out trying to market the practice by sending out a lot of direct mails, and then go to the community to pass out flyers. And then over time, I realized that whenever we try to track a new patient's number by having a patient fill out a piece of paper and ask them, how did they hear about our practice? And most of the time, they would check on Google, or a referral from their family members or friends, right? Even though we were spending anywhere from $4,000 to $8,000 on marketing, and we were getting maybe 6 phone calls. And then when we started to track each of the marketing that we were doing by putting different phone numbers on each marketing pieces, and then I would see the website generated about 100-something phone calls in 3 months. The magazine that we were on generated about 25 phone calls. The truck that we had generated about 15, and the direct mails that we spent about $4,000 to $5,000 on generated about maybe around 50 phone calls in 3 months. Okay, not 1 month. And Google generated 426 phone calls. And we didn't spend any money on Google at all, none. And the thing that most dentists need to know is it doesn't matter where we market, whether it's Facebook, direct mails, or when we go in the community to pass out the flyers, people are still going to go on Google to look for direction to your practice. They're going to go on Google to search to see where your practice is at in that town. And especially, they're going to research about you before they come in, right? They don't want to trust a new dentist that they never met with their mouth. So sometimes we would have patients come in because they saw our advertisement on Facebook, and then they went on Google and read our reviews. And when they came in, they said, Dr. Ho, I saw your ad on Facebook, and then I read all your reviews on Google, and I love your practice. Right now, our practice has about 310 Google reviews. So if you were to search for a dentist in the city that our practice is in, then our practice would appear to the top, and that's what people usually pick.
Well, yeah, that's pretty amazing, man. 310 Google reviews, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. So I guess that's the whole point. You are the man when it comes to this. All right. So the next question then, going down this path, what's the best strategy to acquire authentic online reviews? Since you're so good at acquiring them, I'm assuming they're all authentic or very close to all of them.
Yeah, so I gotta tell you a little history about review acquisition real quick. So in the old days, I would send out so many emails with the direct links for patients to click on to leave us review, right? And one day I read an article written by Dr. Howard Ferran, and he said that Google review is the most important reviews that you need to get for your practice. And so at the time I was focusing on getting reviews on Yahoo and not so much on Yahoo, mainly on Yahoo, Facebook, and Google. And so when patient came in, I bonded with them, and then I would ask them, Mrs. Jones, you've been here for a while. Are you happy with our service here? And she would say, yes, I love your office. I refer so many patients to your practice. And I would say, Mrs. Jones, would you do us a favor and leave us a review on Google? And she said, yes. And then I said, I'm going to send you a link for you to click on, and it will take you straight to Google to leave us a review. So I would send out about 500 of those emails with the links. And we didn't get any reviews from those emails, right? And then there were patients that promised us that they would do it. They wouldn't do it until I developed the strategies to basically provide high quality care, of course. And then we bond with them, and then we ask them, and then we guide them through the process. Like, Mrs. Jones, would you do us a favor and leave us a review on Google today? And she would say yes, and then I would say, it shouldn't take more than a minute, but it's a little tricky. Do you have your phone with you? I can show you how to do it. So I would walk them through the process to leave that review. And to me, it was simple. But to them, when they got on Google, they would click on the website and then land on the website and wouldn't know what to do from there. Or they would get on the Google page and didn't know where to click. So basically, from that experience, I created Envision stars to simplify the process for them. So basically, right now we just send out a text, with a very personalized verbiage for them to click on. And once they click on, they have to basically go toward the end. They can't even go back. So they're gonna click on the link, and then they're gonna click on review, and then they can pick Google or Facebook to write us a review.
That's pretty awesome. I tried to jump on the Google review bandwagon when it first got to be a thing, years ago. We actually bought iPads. We tried to hand people iPads in the chair. And I'll be honest, it just was such a struggle. Like, my staff didn't want to really do it. My patients, they were confused. They really didn't want to do it that I could see. I, at the time, didn't want to take the time to do it myself. And so how did you sort of overcome those barriers? Because I know a lot of dentists have had those barriers that I did when they try to do stuff like this.
Yeah, the thing is, in the past, not too long ago, dentists would have a booth, meaning having a computer or iPad like yourself for the patients to leave reviews, right? The thing about that is it's using your office IP address, and Google doesn't like that. They would go back and delete all those reviews because they didn't like the booth idea, right? Or getting ideas from the same IP address. But if you were to get your patient to leave reviews on their own iPhone or phone, then then Google wouldn't have any problem with that, because sometimes when we go to a business, Google would send us a link to ask us to leave a review for that business. So the thing about motivating our team members to get reviews or get our patients to write reviews for our practice is basically having a system and leadership in place. You have to have a culture of reputations, and you have to encourage your team members and explain to them that having a great online reviews will translate into a great online reputations that will translate into getting more new patients for the practice. And by getting more new patients for the practice, we'll be able to grow. And that's how we're going to pay you, right? And when you create that reputation cultures, and when the team members is able to get a patient to write a review, they get super excited. At my practice, they would run to my office and say, Dr. Ho, I got Mrs. Jones to write us a review today. So she actually gets really excited about it. And usually I don't even incentivize them at all, especially with patients. I don't give them any incentive to write reviews for us. One thing that I gotta mention is that we have to put in the effort to get authentic reviews, meaning that we have to provide great dental care and excellent customer service. And the second thing is we have to bond with our patients, treat them like a person and not just a number, right? And then after that, we gotta ask. There's no shortcut. There are reviews platform out there that automatically send out 50 to 100 texts and expect to get 1 or 2 reviews. With Envision Stars, we try to get 1 or 2 reviews from asking 1 or 2 patients. Like Chris, if I were to ask you to write me a review, right? You would write me one because we already have some kind of relationship in the last 5 minutes. And then all I have to do is to send you a text and say that I would really appreciate if you could, leave us a review on Google to share your experience. So when other patients looking for a dentist, they wouldn't be so nervous to choose our practice. So it's really simple. It's all come down to relationship, and it doesn't matter what kind of technology we have and whether we're going to have a whole bunch of robots in our society. All that cannot replace relationship.
That's great, man. That's pretty awesome. So let me ask you a question. So I know it's, you know how it is in dentistry, like a patient a lot of times won't even seek you out until they have a toothache, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about a doctor who's acting like a dental patient, and they don't even think about their Google reviews until they tick somebody off and they give them a 1-star review. And then they're like, does anybody ever call you and say, Nathan, what can I do about my 1-star review? Do you ever get that?
Yes. The matter of fact, we just signed up a new customer that has 2 reviews, and both of them are 1 star. Okay. And he's asking me to remove those reviews. It's almost impossible to remove bad reviews if they're legit. So the best thing that we can do is to get a whole bunch of great reviews to push those bad reviews down. Because right now we have over 300 Google reviews. So if we were to get 1 bad review, it doesn't affect the rating at all. But if you were to have 10 Google 5-star Google reviews, and you get 1 1-star review, that's gonna pull down your rating a lot, right?
Yeah, a lot. It's funny. This summer, I was with a good friend of mine who's a dentist, and he had just gotten a 1-star review, and it was just tearing him up, Yeah. And he was like, Griff, all these people that know all this stuff. What do you do? I'm like, I don't know for sure. I was like, well, I said, I know the patient. I think they can change the review, right? They can. I said,
yeah.
Have you tried calling and apologizing to them? And he's like, no, I didn't think of that. I was like, would you call and apologize to them? And he's like, yeah, I feel bad about it anyway. So sure enough, he called and apologized, and they actually took it down and gave him a 5-star review for calling. So
that's good.
If anybody out there, I think that worked this one time anyway. I don't know if that would work another time or not, but I figured it was worth a try, right?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of patients or actually customers actually contact me about how to handle negative reviews, right? And the best practice is actually call the patients to resolve that. And most of the time, they would go back and either delete the review or they would change from the 1 star to the 5 stars. It won't happen every time, but if you get 50% of them to change the reviews, then hey, you just eliminated 50% of the negative reviews. And the best thing is just to get a lot of positive reviews. And we have to understand that happy patients won't automatically go on Google to leave you reviews, but the angry one most likely will.
That's right. That's right. So that's why I think what you're doing is so special, man, because nobody realizes that. Like you said, you might have 99% of the people you treat might actually really like you, and but they're not motivated to do anything. But boy, that 1 out of 100 that you tick off, they're like, boom, they're on Facebook, Google, anything they can get their hands on. Lucky if they don't call the state board, right?
Yeah, exactly. You know what's funny? The other day I received a text from Massage Envy. Do you have any Massage Envy in Mississippi?
Not here. No, we're out in the country here, but I've heard of them.
Yeah, so Massage Envy, right? They provide massaging services. So I got a text from them to confirm my appointment, and so they sent out a text that said, text back C to confirm, text D for direction. So I put D for direction, right? And it took me to their Google page with horrible reviews. Review. And I've been at their business before. They have the best office, and they have such a great team, and they're so nice on the phone. They're so nice when you get there, but they still have bad review because the happy customers won't go on Google to leave reviews, but the angry one did. So basically, I just hit direction, and it took me to the Google map and saw the bad review, and it made me thinking, okay, I hope I won't get the wrong masseur because I saw some really bad comments about the place.
So see, you like them, and it made you think about it twice, right?
Exactly.
Oh man. Okay. All right. So I think we've all got a grasp. Yes, we should all look at our Google reviews. We should view that as a marketing opportunity. So along those lines, what are some ways that you're using social proof besides what we just talked about to drive new patients?
Okay, so social proof involves more than just one thing, right? And it's basically same thing. You have to treat your patient in a way that they will become raving fans for your practice. So you would get online reviews, you would get endorsement on Facebook, and something that I'm doing a lot is also is that I ask my patient to do video testimonial about our practice. And when I get them to do that, I ask them to share their story, their experience before they came to our practice, what they had, how they felt, and when they came to us, what we did on them, and how they felt afterward. So they basically share their stories that other patients can relate to, and then I would embed those videos on my website and host them on YouTube. So basically, when someone saw my advertisement on Facebook, they check out my Facebook page, they're gonna see great reviews, great endorsement, and then if they go on Google to read the reviews about my practice, they will see 4.9 rating, and then if they will see some videos, testimonials on the page as well, and those videos only have great things said from my patients. So that is social proof. When 1,000 people say great thing about my practice must be great. Right? So I don't know anything about Dr. Chris Griffin, but everybody on Facebook said that he's the most efficient dentist in the dental field. So I just assume that he's the most efficient dentist, and I really want to fly to Mississippi to watch him practice. That is social proof.
Yeah, well, that's good, man. That's good. I probably need to get you to help me on my social proof, actually. So one thing about where I practice, like I either am related to or went to high school with pretty much 95% of the population. So they've already formed an opinion about me, I think, before it got to Google. Well, yeah, man. So okay, so you got that. What else? You're dropping bombs of knowledge on us, right? So what else have you got?
Okay, so I share my new business concepts on Facebook. A concept that has everything that a new business owner needs to know to grow the business, and it's very, very simple because in the last 9 years, I learned from different consultants, different coaches, read different books, but there wasn't one that has everything that I needed. So after 10 years, I actually consolidated my knowledge into one simple concept, right? So one thing that we know that we have to do is do some kind of marketing to drive the patients in, to drive the customers in. And then you have to be so good on the phone that they would make the appointments. And then when they come in, you got to be so good to treat them and make them pay, right? And then after that, if they're happy, then they're going to decide whether they are going to stay at your practice or not. So at that retention stage, most business owners don't do anything. They just assume that the customers will come back, the customer will refer, the customer will leave reviews, but most won't. So you have to get them to write reviews. The second thing that I do a lot is we ask our patient to leave us, to refer the family members and friends to our practice, because you can spend $4,000 or $5,000 on marketing and you might get 5 or 10 patients. But then you can ask 5 patients for referrals and you might get a couple families that gonna come in, and that's gonna okay, just imagine this, Chris. If you get one patient to refer 3 people, and those three people come in, and then those 3 people will refer 3 more people each. So you're gonna have like thousands and thousands of patients. But the key is you have to, again, treat your patient right, bond with them, and ask. Most dentists, most business owners don't ask. I don't know if they're shy or what, but most people just don't ask. So if you focus on getting reviews to build the social proof, a great reputation in your community, online, and then you funnel some money into marketing to drive in some patients, and then you ask your patients for referrals, that's all you need. After that, you just need to work on the system, the team, leadership, and culture, right? But referrals is huge. And again, just like reviews, they're free.
They are. Nathan, listen, when I decided to go from fee-for-service to accepting a lot of PPOs in 2005, I never minded that really, because I just viewed the low PPO fee as marketing, because now that person comes in, I have the opportunity to treat them so well. They refer me other people, and everybody they refer is not going to be on a PPO, right? I mean, it's just, to me, it was a no-brainer.
Exactly. One time we had a patient came in for an exam, and I ended up doing braces on her. So that was a great ROI. But she also referred her husband to come in, and I ended up doing full mouth reconstruction on him that cost over $30,000.
Wow!
You see what I mean? From a referral.
Yes, it's low hanging fruit, man. I think a lot of dentists are introverted. Well, hey, look, so that's we've got that nailed down. Tell me some stuff. You have really become kind of a big shot lately, from what I can tell. I mean, you got this awesome podcast. You've got this great Facebook group. Since you have been dealing with dentists on a daily basis, tell me some stuff that surprised you about interacting with dentists every day.
So basically, most dentists, when their practice is not doing so well, they just throw a lot of money into marketing. And what I realized is some of them don't have a great system in place. Some of them don't have the leadership to lead the team to ask for referral or reviews, right? When I first started in dentistry, we were able to drive in new patients, but we didn't know how to close that back door. So a lot of patients actually exited that back door and never came back because we didn't have a great recall system. So what I realized is there's so many dentists out there that are struggling, that are not doing so well, and they just spend a lot of money on marketing without having a system in place, without utilizing the team and leverage them to get those patients back. So, and then another thing is, I don't know why, but most people don't ask for referral or review. Like you say, they're all introverted, right? But when you run a business, you do what makes sense, right? You do what makes sense. If you ask a patient for a referral and knowing that you might get 5 or 10 patients from that one patient, then you got to ask either that or you spend $4,000 on marketing. It's common sense, right? But a lot of people say common sense is not common.
Well, one thing that I found, and you may find this out too as you go along, but so it was always easier for me to get a dentist to attend a seminar. I could get them to attend a seminar, but I couldn't get them to pay attention, always. I could get them to buy a course of mine, but I couldn't always even make them log in to the website to start doing the course. It's interesting to me that dentists, like you said, I could see they will purchase a marketing system, but if it requires anything on their part, a lot of people, they probably will purchase it, but they won't actually get it implemented. So that's something
Exactly, and that what I realized as well. So that's why when we have a customer that sign up for Envision Stars, I actually spend time to coach them, and they will have my cell phone to call me. So most of the time they not only ask about Envision Stars, but they ask about the business of dentistry, and I don't charge them anything. So basically, I just motivate them to basically try to communicate with their patients. Try to ask them to leave you a review, because my concept is basically, if you ask one patient and if she's happy, then most likely you will get one review from that patient, and that's all you need to ask. But if not, then you're gonna have to use some kind of automations to send out so many texts, like let's say 100 texts, and you get 2 reviews. What does that mean? That means you irritated the other 98 patients, right?
Right.
And because these days we receive so many phone calls and so many texts from so many businesses. Just in the dental office alone, they receive appointment reminder, not only one time, but maybe 2-3 times. Our team members text them whenever we need something from them. They get so many texts. So we gotta personalize everything that we do. That's the only way to keep our patient happy.
Yes. Yeah. And so before we get out of here, I just wanted you to touch on one more thing. So I was scrolling along Dental Win-Win the other night before I went to bed, and I came across this picture of this heart, and I'm like, what is this, an anatomy class? What the heck is this? And so I looked at him like, wait a minute, this is pretty cool. And so you apparently have, in your brain somehow, you have birthed this idea, a way to explain the entire dental office, and you use the heart as the graphical representation. So just tell me about the heart real quick before we get out of here.
Yeah, basically, if we don't have a healthy heart, if we had a heart attack, we would die, right? Just like a business. If you ask yourself, if the heart was your business, and if it's not healthy, what do you need to do? You got to work on it. You got to work on the system. You got to work on the leadership. You got to work on culture and team, right? If you have an unhealthy heart, what do we need to do? We either exercise, diet, and get healthier, or you're going to have a heart attack or a heart transplant, right? So in a business, if you just picture the heart help circulate the blood for us, right? So on the top, you would have marketing, and the marketing will drive in the patients, and the patient will call the office or text the office. And then when they come into the office, it's go to the services. If you were to sell product, then it would be product. And then from there, if they're happy with your services or products, then it leads to retention. And from retention, which is at the bottom of the heart, and one go to the right and one go to the left. It's just like your blood flow to your leg, and it got to flow back somehow, right? So it's one flow to the right is for referral. When you ask your patient for referral, then you will get more patients from your patient's endorsements. So from there, you get more new patients that will call your office, or your current patients will call your office and come back. The other side, you have patients that write reviews for your business. So other potential patients, when they search for a dentist in your city, they would pick you, and then they would call your practice. So the cycle just repeats itself. Then that's all you need. And inside the heart, you would have systems, you would have team, you would have leadership, and you would have culture. And if you can't develop those systems or can't become a great leader, all you gotta do is seek out for help. Talk to Dr. Chris Griffin, Dr. Abernathy, Sandy Pardue, Heidi Mounts. There's so many people out there that can help you develop the system, can help you build a team, can help you create a great culture. You can contact me if you want to create a reputation culture, right? And leadership. So everything you need to grow your business is within that heart.
That's an awesome. I really love the heart. I will say, I can't believe you came on my show and dropped all those names of those other consultants and stuff, man. I tell you, that's you just see you ask a guy on, you see what he does. No, I'm joking. I'm friends with all those. I'm just picking at you.
That's why I also mentioned your name.
Okay. Yes, thank you for associating me. I'm pretty sure Dr. Abernathy might take some offense, but I'll take it. I'll take it. All right, man. Well, hey, okay. So if somebody listening to this or watching this wants to get in with Envision Stars, what do they need to do?
It's so simple. They can contact me through Facebook. I'm on Facebook all the time. Or they can contact my team by emailing to contact@envisionstars.com or call my cell phone. Okay, I give them my cell phone, 817-501-8060. Again, 817-501-8060. They can call me or they can text me. And then I will coach them. I will help them. I promise they will get reviews. Last month, 2 months ago, I coached an orthodontist in Arlington, Texas. Basically, she spent 2 years trying to get 10 years. She's been in business for 10 years. She got 20 reviews. She was with another company for 2 years, but only had 20 reviews. In 1 month, after I coached her, and I told her she didn't need to incentivize the patients at all. In 1 month, she got 85 new reviews. And I think she currently has about 140 reviews now within 2 months, awesome. I think. Yep. So, they can contact me on Facebook or call me.
Okay. When you edit this, okay, put your cell phone up there, flashing lights, so everybody's going to call you and bug you about this. I bet I'm not giving you guys my cell phone number. I will say, if anybody uses the Voxer app, I will Vox with you. You ever use that, Nathan?
No, not at all. I also have a dedicated phone for text and call, but people can call me personally.
Now you come on my show and show me up like this. What the heck? What have I done? Why have I invited you onto my show? But kidding.
My mentor, Dr. Abernathy, he's such a busy guy. He used to grew his practice to $6-7 million, and he was a coach, a consultant. Now he's a speaker. So busy. But every time he talks to somebody, he always give out his cell phone number. When he gave me his cell phone number, I said, "Are you sure? And is it okay if I actually called you, or you give me your cell phone number, but don't expect me to call you?" And he said, "Call me or text me anytime." So I don't mind at all.
Oh, okay. I'm going to tell this little historical story here. Back in, I think, 2001, right? I had just gotten my new practice started. And so I went to see the Profitable Dentist seminar in Sandestin, Florida. Dr. Abernathy's on stage. He gives out his telephone number, right? So I'm like, hey, I'm this little punk kid, like 26 years old. I'm like, okay, I'll call it. So I called it. And I'll never forget, we talked on the phone. He was a super nice guy. And while we're on the phone, he's like, "Oh, hey, hold on. I'm like, "What's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry about that, Chris. my dog got wet and got shocked by the electric fence, and she just lit off across the pasture. I don't know if we'll ever see her again. I'm like, okay, man, this is real life. I'm just on this guy's real life, but he was super cordial, super nice. And so, yeah, man, you can take after. That's great. If I'm just saying, man, it's just, I just am too scared to do it. But because I know that if I start getting phone calls at night, like I'm probably going to get divorced from my wife. But,
you know what? I did a podcast with Dr. Abernathy, and he gave out his cell phone on that podcast. And that podcast was viewed by 7,000 people, 7,000. And I'm sure he got a lot of phone calls and texts, but he hasn't complained about it.
Well, hey, like I said, I'll Vox with you if you want to Vox with me, but I'm not getting my cell phone just yet. Maybe someday I will see the light and I will do like you. I know it's probably helping make you successful. I know Envision Stars is blowing up, man. So I hope everybody checks you out, and for sure, everybody go get on Dental Win-Win, right? You want all the people you can get on that Facebook group, right?
Oh, they gotta get on Dental Win-Win, especially a new dentist and just any dentist at all. Basically, my goal with Dental Win-Win is that I try to connect with experts like yourself to someone that just graduated from school or been in practice for so long, but just can't grow their practice, right? There's not a better way to connect so many experts to a group that needs help. In the old days when I had questions, I didn't know who to ask. Back then you would have to email somebody and just hope that that person would email you back, or you would have to do your research and read books. But these days you can drop a questions and a whole bunch of experts would jump in and answer your questions. So I'm excited about that group, and I'm super excited. I'm spending a lot of time on it. I mean, like thousands and thousands of hours. But when I'm able to help a dentist, when I'm able to help someone on there, I just feel good. That's my Red Bull to keep me going. You know what I mean? I'd rather sleep a little less and help more people than sleep more and knowing that other people out there need help, but they can't get in touch with experts like yourself or Dr. Abernathy or other consultants out there.
Well, brother, my hat's off to you. You've done a heck of a job. And like I said, my favorite Facebook group, everybody, I encourage you all to join it. Get with him for Envision Stars if you're interested in the Google review stuff. And this is it. Have you got any parting words for the crowd? Okay,
so I'm gonna give one tip. Okay, one tip. And basically, I use this strategies and philosophy every day, and that is to think creatively and just know that you can do anything that you want to. A lot of people, they have a lot of ideas, or they don't get to do a lot of things in life because they think that they can't do it because they don't have the skills. But just know that if you lack in certain skills, then work with other people that have the skills that you lack in, and build a team or a network and work with those people to build a products or to turn your idea into a reality, because we can't do everything by ourselves in this lifetime. Steve Jobs didn't do it. Bill Gates didn't do it. Walt Disney didn't do it. They all had a great team of talented people around them, right? So anybody can do it. I'm a dentist and I'm into software development. I'm a dentist and I'm doing podcasts with Dr. Griffin. Over time, what you're gonna realize is time will be your limiting factor. It doesn't matter what you do. Time will be your limiting factors, especially when we get older.
Time is undefeated.
That's right.
Okay. Well, great. That was great. Great parting words, man. And I do thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for being the executive producer. We look forward to seeing what kind of amazing editing skills you have. And then next time it'll be on me, which I'm sure it'll be a lot worse. So anyway, thanks, Dr. Nathan. And everybody, go check his stuff out. Get on Dental Win-Win. And we will see you guys next time.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Take care.
Yeah.
We appreciate you joining us for this episode of the Dr. Chris Griffin Show. Be sure to visit drchrisgriffin.com for the latest resources and updates to keep you more productive every single day you're at the practice, so when you're not working, you can do the things that matter most in life. We look forward to having you join us for another episode of the Chris Griffin Show, where the doctor is always in.